Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Can I tell you why Kyrie, Irving, and many of you, this is, because you heard I've not said a lot about Kanye, and for very principled reasons, but I'll include him in this particular rant. Why many of you have stood up even for Kanye in what appears to be the mistreatment of Kanye West. I need to tell it to you in a way where you understand it. Out here in Toronto, there's a place that is called Regent Park, and it's been gentrified, but initially this place in the city of Toronto called Regent Park, it was built down the street from another area called Cabbage Town. You see, the whites lived in Cabbage Town, and they built Regent Park to make sure that the workers, the domestics, and those that they needed to do things around the house lived nearby. So they could walk up to Cabbage Town, but they didn't have to live in Cabbage Town. And the way that they built Regent Park was very, very psychologically interesting. Toronto is one of the best city building cultures in the world because they build psychologically in Toronto. They built Regent Park so that the lower class workers could see out. They could see the upper class white folks drive by in their nice vehicles, their nice cars, and they could get up every day and say, man, I want one of those, baby. And it motivated them to go to work. But they also built it in a way where that when those whites were driving by in their nice car, Sunday, going to church in their nice suit, and they got the family in the car, they couldn't see inside Regent Park. And they couldn't see the abject poverty and the dismay of the lower echelon individuals who were their domestics. They couldn't see it. They didn't have to suffer the atrocity of looking at poverty just down the street. Side note, what it created also, it created a place where criminality could take place and not be seen by the police, because they created a place where the poor people could see the rich, but the rich people couldn't see the poor. And so when we look at an individual like Kyrie Irving, when we look at Kanye, a black billionaire, and we realize that still in North America, many of us have never gotten an opportunity to live in our Cabbage Town, that we are still operating in the Regent Park reality of our life, where we can see it but we can't have it, and where we are not seen. When our leaders get to the place where they now are living the way we want to live, are achieving the way we want to achieve, we get very temperamental and sensitive when you start tearing them down. Because when you tear them down, you're tearing down the dreams and the hopes and the aspirations that we have of being them. Especially with a guy like Kyrie Irving. Because Kyrie he's not a supersized, human being. He's not a guy that you look at and you say, oh my God, God put you on the planet to play basketball. No, when we look at Kyrie Irving, the average guy says, that could be me. He's not very big, he's not very muscular, he's not very fast, he's not very athletic, but he's just so skilled. He could be me. And so when the average black person sees Kyrie, they see themselves, they see their sons, they see their daughters, they see what could be. And then when you come against that and they see that, why are you doing that to him? Why are you tearing him down like that? Man, he's just trying to express himself. Why would you do that? It begins to hurt us. It begins to touch us in a way where it seems like you're doing it to us. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now, that's where revolutions are built. 1963, they decided, they meaning the black leaders of America at the time, they decided to do a little march on Washington. They were going to just walk up the street, and they said, hey, we don't want to, we're not coming to intimidate nobody. We're just going to walk through because, you know what? It's been 100 years since you freed us black people, and we really don't have civil rights. We still can't vote. We got to do sit-ins, and we got to do marches and boycotts, and we got to do all kinds of stuff in order just to become regular citizens, just to live in Cabbage Town. You see, Kyrie Irving is our Cabbage Town. When we wear his sneakers, when we walk around in those Kyries, we say to ourselves, man, I got a little piece of my Cabbage Town. When we walk around in Yeezys, we say, man, I got a little piece of my Cabbage Town. But the minute that you decide, I'm not going to name any communities, but the minute that the yous behind the side, that you are going to amplify your power and take away the iconic symbols of our hope, can't do it for long. We're going to rise up. I know to you it's like your hope. Man, you look at this little basketball player and he gives you hope. Yeah, we do. You look at this guy, just this guy who's rapping and saying all kind of crazy stuff and he gives you hope. Yeah, we do. We do. Because it is our decision to choose who we decide to follow, who our leaders are. We choose them. And it's come to the place where it's not 1963 anymore, and black timidity no longer exists. You know, you made a mistake. You made a mistake allowing us to say anything we wanted on those records, allowing us to swear at you and cuss, allowing us to say F the police and fight the power. You made a mistake when you didn't censor us and tell us to be good Negroes and act properly, when you let us grow our hair out, you let us wear our clothes sagging down to the ground, and you let us call each other I ain't gonna say the word, but you know you made a mistake, because what it did is it eroded our timidity. It caused us to say, I don't have to behave anymore. I don't have to act right no more. I can say it like I want to say it. And you allowed us to live in a fairy tale land that we were the boss and that we were running stuff, and all of a sudden you want to snatch it away. It's too late. It's too late. The tree is grown, you can't bend it. Baby's too big to put her back in the high chair. And the black community doesn't care anymore. We'll burn it all down. That's right. We'll burn it all down. What do you mean? We ain't gonna go out and march no more. We realize that don't work. We ain't gonna march up and down in Washington and in Capitol Hill. We ain't gonna do that no more. That don't work. That does not work. What works? We're gonna stop cooperating. We're gonna stop cooperating with these little trinkets that you gave us. We're gonna stop wanting to live in your little Cabbage Town. In fact, we don't even like cabbage. We're gonna walk up the street and say, you know what? We're gonna take the whole doggone town. That's right. Nike, you know what? I don't need to wear this doggone swoosh on my foot. I mean, what is this anyway? What is it anyway? I don't care if Michael Jordan used to wear them. What is that? You know what? I don't even have to play basketball in this little league that you set up. There's more leagues around the world. Dwight Howard just decided he's going to go to Chinese. That's right. Said, you guys don't want me, I'm gonna go see the Chinese. The world has gotten bigger. Our ideas have gotten bigger. Our heroes are now different than they used to be. They don't wear shirt and ties anymore, and they don't speak with preacher voices. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that there's a new age where black timidity no longer exists. We're not timid anymore. We're realizing that we don't need the things that we needed anymore. We're realizing that we don't have to sit back here and take it anymore. We're realizing that it's just a sport. We're getting wiser. We're getting older. We're getting much more fed up. And we got to figure it out. Kyrie said it like this. He said, you millennials, and I'll include Generation Z and Generation X, it's your turn. We just a voice crying in the wilderness. But true power, this ain't my quote, it comes from Louis Farrakhan actually, but I'll borrow it. He says the true power is the power around the power. My voice can be power, but I need some people around me to be the true power. I need a generation of people who will activate the plan, the strategy, the scheme, the agenda for a desired result. It doesn't make sense if we're just talking and we ain't doing. It doesn't make sense if we're just planning and we ain't building. It doesn't make sense if we're just hoping, but we're not accomplishing that which we hope for. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of my Regent Park. I ain't gonna wait for somebody to gentrify it. Nah, I'm gonna go build my own. You go build yours too. Kyrie, yes, ye. I know you don't want to be Kanye no more, you're just ye. Thanks for waking us up. Let's pray we don't go back to sleep. Thanks for giving us our marching trumpet. I pray that people learn that our community is a force to be reckoned with. You got to deal with us. I pray that that old money that's sitting around there hiding under these large corporations, I pray that we realize that we can do it too. It's our turn. It's been our turn. It's time to take your turn. It will not be given. It will not be offered. You must take it for yourself. That's my time, ladies and gentlemen. I see what's happening. Kyrie's off the suspension list. They've taken him off the suspension list. They haven't reinstated him yet, but they've taken him off the suspension list. Listen, it's time for us to take our turn. Don't let it stop here. Del Cape Brereton, this is The Real Spiel.